as we get toward the end of the month of February, shortest month of the year. We get into what is often considered the longest month of the year for basketball fans, as we have not only the big NCAA tournament, but a tournament right here in the great state of Michigan, the MHSAA boys and girls basketball tournaments, both of which this season feature very strong teams out of West Bloomfield High School. Joining us on the program now is our general manager, Dave Scott, who alongside all of us at Civic Center TV will be following along with both of these teams in their campaigns for a championship in 2024. Dave, exciting time.
Very exciting time. So the most exciting thing today is that you're back. I had no idea how hard you worked until you went on vacation.
And neither did I. I was on vacation, and a few days ago, I woke up one morning with nothing to do, and I didn't know what to do with myself. Got out in the nice sun, and then come back over here. It's 70 degrees. I might as well just stay put.
Well, thanks for bringing all the warm weather back. As you know, and possibly much of our audience knows, you and I and many people in our community love sports. And there isn't a better time for us to focus on the local sports that's going on right here in the greater West Bloomfield area than right now. Tyler, I went to West Bloomfield High School. I graduated back in 1977. I've been following these programs on and off throughout the years. And I'm thinking really hard right now, next to the state championship game that you and I were both at when West Bloomfield played Clarkston down at Ford Field. I'm trying to think of a time that is more exciting for our region. And I don't think I can think of one. Here's why. The girls basketball team at West Bloomfield High School coming off an amazing 4-year run, sending the Davis twins to Georgia, sending some of our other players to some of the finest schools around the country. They had their senior night on Friday night. It was a spectacular evening. Tyler, I wish you would have been there because the stands were packed full. And in the hallway outside the gym were these wonderful displays, each of which an homage to the high school basketball player they represented. It was an emotional night. It was an amazing night. And I'll tell you, as good as the West Bloomfield girls basketball team played last year, they were even sharper than I remember them in last year's tournament run. If you want to find out more about that, we have a video that recaps the whole night, including the visit by fifth graders from the schools around West Bloomfield at Friday night's game. And I think you'll find with the moms and dads and the players and all the emotion, it was a really exciting night. And Tyler, I know you remember the closing moments of the girls basketball game at the state final last year against Rockford when West Bloomfield lost that game in the final seconds. And I know you remember that, but I'll tell you, the team really remembers that, and they are looking forward to getting a chance to get back at Rockford and get back at the entire state of Michigan. Their tournament run starts next week. But that very exciting. But that's only one small piece of the picture. But before I get into the boys, that was an amazing run. They made it to runner-up in the state, and then obviously the previous year won the state championship and trying to get back this year.
Yeah, they're on a tear already in 2024. 19-1. One final game coming up tomorrow night in Grand Blanc at 7 o'clock against Grand Blanc High School. And just looking at their most recent 5 games or so, the most points they've given up was a couple weeks ago on Friday, February 16th at Clarkston, where they still won the game by 40 points, 73-33. But a lot of 20s or late teen scoring games of late, and really their only other game that's been even remotely close was that one loss they had against White House Anthony Wayne from Ohio a few weeks back in early February, where they lost by 12. 19-1, 3 straight potentially appearances in the state championship game. They've won a state title. They came up so short last year, just short at the end of the year. And Dave, this team is tighter than ever before, too. They got a lot of veteran talent, a lot of young players, but that team aspect so important, and we're seeing that from the girls and the boys as well.
Well, and Coach Darren McAllister, when I talked to him on Friday night, he said for the last 364 days, all he's had on his mind is Rockford. So we'll be ready for that. That tournament run starts next week. But this week, even more interesting as the West Bloomfield boys basketball team is in the midst of a major resurgence. Tyler, I think it's safe to say West Bloomfield, traditionally, at least over the last decade or so, has been more of a football school than a basketball school. But they hired a new coach, and this team wins the OAA Red. Well, they tie for the championship of the OAA Red. I think you have to say complete, comprehensive turnaround for the West Bloomfield boys.
Yeah, this team had a really good year last season. They looked like a team that was on the up and up and had a lot of talent that was on the younger side. In the games that we covered for them a year ago, we saw a lot of their sophomores and their juniors be the impact players in some pretty tough games. And that building of those calluses is showing this season, and they've had a great run toward the end of the year in this season and are on to the playoffs now, where they got an interesting opportunity here, Dave. They got a game tonight, and if that game ends up being in the win column for the Lakers, there's a potential hyper-local matchup for the L Boys later on this month.
Well, I think that's what everyone is anticipating, and these games need to be played. And West Bloomfield's got their hands full tonight. So does Orchard Lake St. Mary. They're both playing. West Bloomfield at 5:30, Orchard Lake St. Mary at 7 at Lakeland High School in the district tournament. The winner of those games that are played today will face off on Friday night for the district championship. And we're all crossing our fingers that that's going to be Orchard Lake St. Mary and West Bloomfield. Orchard Lake St. Mary ranked the #1 team in the state by Mick McCabe, son of Swami of the Detroit Free Press, and almost everybody else. They've been a dynasty and a powerhouse. And then the West Bloomfield Lakers. I've had a lot of conversations with people that say that they would not be terribly surprised if the Lakers upset Orchard Lake St. Mary on Friday, but that's going to be a steep hill to climb. Either way, what a great matchup for us here in West Bloomfield. Our two teams, the whole state watching us, and it's going to be a really exciting week to see which one of these teams, our teams, emerges from the district tournament.
Yeah, that would be a really interesting game potentially later on this week. It would be on Friday. Orchard Lake St. Mary is currently 20-1 overall on the season. West Bloomfield's boys 16-5, and two of the top 10 teams in the state according to the D Zone, with Orchard Lake St. Mary's spending a lot of this season ranked #1. West Bloomfield going up tonight against Walled Lake Central, who is 20-3, and that's going to be a great preview for how far this team can go that playoff opener. If they come out with a win against this team, they can beat pretty much anyone.
Well, I'll be there tonight for both games. I'll file a report with you tomorrow morning. We'll see how the whole thing shakes out. And again, hopefully a big matchup on Friday night. Should be a lot of fun. One of the most exciting times I can remember. With regard to our coverage, I invite you to tune in for our coverage tomorrow morning right here. We'll recap everything that happened. Should we have the Lakers playing on Friday night, we will have the radio broadcast for you and encourage you to watch the television broadcast if you are a subscriber to the NFHS network. They're going to have a complete production crew there, and it should be great coverage. Turn the volume down on the TV, turn it up on the radio, and we'll have live coverage for you. If everything, all the stars align on Friday night, right here, and we'll play it on TV, of course, and just the audio, and then have it for you on 89.3 Lakes FM. It's going to be an exciting week.
Yeah, a great time to be a basketball fan in the greater West Bloomfield area with both Orchard Lake St. Mary's and their boys team, West Bloomfield High School's boys and girls varsity basketball teams. Dave, excited for continuing coverage as this playoff runs forward.
Yeah, very excited. Going to be a little sleepy, but very excited. Welcome back, Tyler. Good to see you. Thank you for letting me pop in.